Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon, coaches and everybody present over here. Today we have another book review. You Can Heal Your Life, the book with which we all have a very close connection. And today the first four chapters are going to be reviewed. First two chapters will be by Srishti, and the next two will be by Sambodhi. And yeah, we are eager to hear from all of you. Welcome, Srishti and Sambodhi, both of you. You can take over.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. So, very good afternoon to all my dear coaches. So, today we are exploring the one of the most beautiful and the very first books are asked us all the coaches we have to read. And though I am also, I mean, new for the book, I haven't read this book. So thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity so that I am a bit pushed over to read this book. So I will be presenting the first two chapters of this book, You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Um, so, um, so I find it, very important to talk about the forward and suggestions given by the author. So the book is, uh, I mean, um, the book is based on the learnings and the teachings of Louise Hay. So the forward expresses the author or the writer expresses deep gratitude, admiration for the Louise Hay. The writer says, if he could take any one book to a desert island, it would be You Can Heal Your Life. This is the beauty and how important this book can be in one's life. You can imagine from this sentence. So Louis' book contain essential wisdom for healing, transformation, and self-understanding. And there are some suggestions given by the author to the readers that Louis explained how to use this book. This book is designed like a session. The same way she would give a private session to every client. The book is designed like this, and every chapter starts with an affirmation. The goal of this book is the inner change, with which naturally bring out the outer changes. So let us move forward for the chapter 1. It is What I Believe. The gateways to wisdom and knowledge are always open. So the first thing is, author says life is very simple. What we give out, we get back. So the thoughts we think become our reality. We experience life through our belief and feelings. We create situations and then give away our power by blaming others. So what we chant, what we recite, what we affirm, what we say throughout our day, throughout our life, the universe replicates the same thing, the same situations, the same emotions, and everything with the same feeling, with the same words which we are constantly repeating. So if we say people are out to get me, we will be replicated with the same experiences. And if we say that everyone is helpful, we will be again replicating with the same experiences. So each creates an entirely different life experience for everyone. That is why life is completely individualistic for everyone. So the universe told us in to. So the ways our subconscious accept whatsoever we choose to believe, either positive or negative, whatever we believe becomes true for us. We always have the freedom to choose supportive thoughts. And the universe never judges or criticizes us. So the universe is so divine, so innocent, that whatever we are reciting, whatever is in our mind or thought, it never judges or criticizes. But we are blessed with the same thoughts. So the life reflects our belief back to us. If we choose loneliness or unworthiness, we will be experiencing the same. And if we choose love and affirm it consistently, life changes accordingly. So the next thing is, most of the thing which we are, one second. Most of the things which we are, experiencing in our day-to-day life is our childhood ideas. So as children, we absorb the emotional environment of our homes. We often carry childhood messages like, I never do anything right. It's all about my fault. I do not look good. I'm not enough. I'm not loving. I'm not, I'm unseen, unheard. So the same beliefs, whatsoever we carry in our mind, these beliefs create long-term frustration. And these beliefs are the beliefs which are responsible for our lifetime experiences. So when we grow up, we recreate these early patterns. We subconsciously recreate the emotional environment of childhood. We treat ourselves the way our parents treated us. We can also speak to ourselves in the same critical and punishing ways. Like if we listen to our parents or the people around us, that you are not good looking, or you are not good enough, or you are not intelligent. So the thoughts etch in our mind and shrink into our mind in so much so that we kind of recreate this thing throughout our life, and we unknowingly invite these kind of experiences throughout our life. So if we are talking about our childhood, then it comes to the parents. We should not blame our parents, my dear, because everyone does the best they can with what they know. They could not teach what they did not learn themselves. So compassion allows us to break the cycle. So maybe our parents are victim of victims. So they are teaching us what they got what the teaching they got in their childhood. So they are doing their best. So we should not blame our parents. Why? Because we choose our parents. So Louis represent a metaphysical idea that we choose our parents before birth to learn the lessons our soul needs. This viewpoint also release blame and understand pattern as part of growth. So here author also says that we reincarnate. So in every life, what the lessons we are bound to learn the similar kind of parents we choose in that life. So we should never ever blame our parents. So the point of power is always in the present. So, my dear coaches, we have to realize that the past has no power now. What is gone is gone. What is finished is finished. It will never come back, and it cannot write your story. So the most important question is, what do I choose to think right now, right here, right now? So we can change our thoughts and create a new future. So thoughts can always be changed. A thought is just a feeling. It create a feeling. Change the thought and change the feelings. So self-hatred, let's say if a person is living in self-hatred, so it is just a thought which is etched in his or her soul or mind or subconscious mind in their childhood, and it can always be replaced. So we can choose our thoughts. We may have habitual thoughts which are still which but they are still choices. I can choose that I do not look good because it has been etched in my thought in my mind, but it is still my choice that I can think that I look good. So we can choose to think lovingly and positively about ourselves. So the innermost belief everyone has is, I'm not good enough. So the author says, Louis says that whatsoever, and a numerous client she has ever met, all has one problem, that I am not good enough. In one or the other way, the person always find themselves insufficient. So many people feel they don't do enough, they don't deserve enough, or they aren't worthy. This belief can block their health, love, and prosperity. So emotions they draw from this line that I'm not good enough are resentment, criticism, guilt, and fear, which is the cause of most of the problem. So these emotional patterns create illness and life problems. They keep us stuck and prevent healing. So we can change our attitude towards the past. So this is the only way we can rewind, rewire, rewrite our life, is that past is over and it cannot be changed. So what matters is how we can change about it now. And the basic thing to rewind, rewire, and rewrite our life is forgiveness, which is the most essential thing for healing. And the basic thing author says that to forgive is the willingness to forgive. The excuses for not giving forgiveness is not the reason that you don't know how to forgive, is that you are resisting the forgiveness. You are not willing to forgive. So to release the past, we must be willing to forgive. Willingness is not condoning, it is releasing. We do not need to know how to forgive. We must only be willing, and the universe takes care of the how. So, all diseases or diseases come from a state of unforgiveness. So, all the diseases originates from this root only. So, Louis says the person hardest to forgive is the most important to release. That is the most deep rooted thing you are carrying throughout your life, which is the basic hurdle of all your healing. So you must forgive the person which is hardest to forgive. And loving and approving of ourselves heals everything. So self-love is the foundation for healing health, relationship, money, and creativity. Criticism locks us into painful pattern, and gentle self-acceptance begins real change. So now that is all about chapter 1. Now moving to chapter 2, it is talking what is the problem. It is safe to look within. Okay. So now chapter 2, people believe their problems are external. So Louise describes that whenever she meets a client, first of all clients talk about their problem. So, like my body doesn't work means they are not satisfied with their health levels or their looks. My relationship doesn't work. My finance don't work. My life doesn't work. So the author emphasizes that these are the symptoms. These are just the symptoms. These are not the root problems. The real issue lies beneath. It is the mental patterns client repeat unconsciously. So the first step she follow whenever she meets to a client is listening to their words. So she listened for their repeated thought patterns because words really reveal belief. Belief create life experiences, and people often describe their lives that contradict their words. Their words reflect hidden beliefs. So first of all, we should listen to the words of the person. So, and now come to the first exercise. She suggests first exercise what she practiced with all her clients. Louise uses I should exercise to uncover unconscious pressure and guilt. So, what is the process? The process is clients write several sentences begin with I should. Like for an example, I should be a doctor. Then she asks why. Then why you should be a doctor? Because my parents wants that. Okay. Then she asks them to reread each and add, if I really wanted to, I could. So the same person, for instance, right? I could be a painter. So this shifts the energy from obligation to choice. Then she asks why you should be a doctor. Why you haven't tried? If I really wanted to, I could be a painter. Instead of a doctor, I could be a painter. Then she asked why you haven't tried for to become a painter. So they can give excuses like, I was afraid of, people will make fun of me, or the painting cannot earn such amount of money. you know. So it can expose, this exercise can expose people doing things to please others, guilt-based motivations, feeling of inadequacy, or limited beliefs earned in childhood. So the core issue behind all the problem is lack of self-love. So it is, what is self-love? Self-love is not ego or vanity or the physical looks, but healthy self-respect and appreciation to one's existence. Self-love opens the path to healing. So, in the previous slide, the example I was taking, the person uh, should, who thinks that I should be a doctor because my parents thinks like that, but I wanted to be a painter but I couldn't take a stand for myself. This clearly says that the person is suffering from lack of self-love. Okay, so the author shares that the perfection of babies. So, how perfect we were in our babyhood. So, if you give a banana to a baby, so how they feed themselves, they will, rub it throughout the floor, their dresses, their mouth, and all over the body, and then they have it. So, they are least aware and least concerned with the people thinking of others. They are so much into their self love that they know how to do it, and there is their own style to perform it, so babies has nothing to do with perfection. So here comes the second exercise of the book. It is the mirror exercise. So the author suggests that she asks the clients to look into a mirror and say their names and say, I love and accept you exactly as you are. So she also describes that while doing this exercise, many people are not even able to see themselves, peep into their eyes into the mirror. And some often cry so much so that it is very hard to, stop them or control them, because they are in so much of self-love that they often completely forgot that they are a different entity. They are a different person. They are so much carried away with the thoughts, the beliefs, and the expectations of the others, that their whole life is concerned about fitting into that definition, that process, and that image. So the problem is rarely the real problem. So here author gives some examples, uh, like what the clients are describing their problem and what the real problem was, what the root cause was. Let us understand by these four examples. So example one is, a woman was obsessed with her looks, in a way like she was having misaligned teeth. So she approached many cosmetologists and doctors for better alignment of the nose and teeth, and she was every time she was getting a bad job by the doctor. So the real issue was she was traveling in self hatred. And the what I was mentioning in the earlier slides, what are the emotions we are carrying in ourselves. The universe rewards us with the similar experiences. So she was into the self hatred, so the universe is giving her more self hatred by blessing her, or rewarding her with the bad job of the doctors, and her teeth and the nose was even more misaligned by the after the surgery. And it was not at all to do with her teeth or appearance, it was just her self hatred. Example two was a young minister uh, with a very bad breath. The breath was too bad that the person around the minister, found it irresistible to tolerate her. So uh, the root cause was the outer side of the young minister was highly pious and spiritual image, but deep down she was carrying deep jealousy and raging anger. that someone might threatening her position. So she was, so repulsive from the inner side, that in the outer environment also she was repulsive for every other person. And the third example is a teenage boy with Hodgkin disease. It is a kind of cancer, though treatable. So the author made the child uh, to rewire and reframe the thoughts and beliefs. And the moment the child reframed the thoughts and beliefs towards himself, he started to heal. Though doctors said that the child will not, survive for more than 3 months, but the boy survived because he changed his thoughts and beliefs for himself. And example 4 is the overweight clients. So Louis Hay explained that overweight is not about food; it is about fear and a need of protection. So a person, when deep down in the subconscious, the fear is so much engraved, so much etched into the subconscious, the person tend to develop a extra layer of protection in the form of fat and land into the overweight category. So the real problem is, I'm not good enough. This is the real problem. This is the crux of the most of the problem, that I'm not good enough, or the person is constantly traveling into lack of self-love. So the healing begins with self-love, not fixing the external conditions. So here I end my review. Thank you so much all for patient listening.
Thank you, Srishti. That was really an insightful and very nicely explained. I really could recall. I mean, we have done this review and also reading so many times earlier, but you reviewed it very well and got out the very important points of what
Thank you
Louise
so
Hay wants to say. And at the end of it, of course, it's all about self-love and how you treat yourself rather than expecting the external things to change. It's more about changing yourself within. So that's it. That is what all transformation is about, right? And you have put it across very nicely, very beautifully, and explained it so peacefully. I like the way, the flow that with which you went. It was done very well. So excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ishti, for this.
Thank you so
Anyone?
much.
Let's go on with Sambodhi, and then we can, if anybody wants to ask something, they can ask later on. Thank you, Shishti.
Most welcome, ma'am.
You can stop the share so Sambodhi can come in.
Ma'am, are you making me the co-host?
Yes, I will. Yes. Yeah, done.
Ma'am, is it the only documents I have to share or the whole screen?
The whole no, you have to share your the screen where you have displayed the. Where you must have kept it open, no, somewhere.
Yeah, but it's showing something, the Zoom settings. Ma'am, can I send it to you? Can you share from your
Okay,
end?
we'll do that quickly.
Shared it to Neelam, ma'am, actually. Yes, ma'am, I sent it to you in WhatsApp.
So
where does it come from? First one.
it's two, right? There are two PPTs.
Yeah, where does it come from? That one is chapter 3.
Okay,
The
where
second.
does it come from? Okay. Is it
Yes, ma'am.
You can go ahead.
Ma'am, I can make it a full screen also. Okay. Okay.
Full screen.
So good afternoon, everyone. Now we'll be looking at chapter 3. So where does it come from? So the author is saying we have all experiencing in our life some or the other problems. Okay, so we might have any kind of illness or any financial issue or any relationship issues. So whatever it has come from the past. I mean, there is only one real root of this all these problems. There's a belief that we are not good enough, and there's a lack of self love. Okay, so now that is um, uh, so we can think of the babies, as Shishti was also saying in the earlier chapters. So how babies are, they are like the perfect ones, so they don't feel unworthy or unloved. Whenever whatever they feel like, they will immediately express it through their expressions. But we end up having problems when we grow up as an adult. So when we grow up, we'll only that time only we'll feel unloved or unworthy of ourselves, and that is coming from the past experiences or past conditioning. So think of a rose. So when it is like a small bird to a full bloom and up to its final petal, it
Hold
is.
on a second, Sambodhi.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you make it full screen?
Ma'am is
Yeah,
shifting.
sir, I just missed out as to where should I go to make it full screen. I was
Is
not
it in Gamma?
Ma'am,
Yeah, and yeah, I have opened it as a PDF.
Okay, even PDF also you can make it full screen.
Yeah, but exactly
Ma'am,
where I could.
just next to the gear symbol, just now you clicked, right? There is
Yes,
arrow, double arrow.
yeah.
Next to that,
Okay.
next.
Oh,
Try
okay.
that.
Okay, got it. Yes, thanks.
Okay.
So we can think of like a rose that is a small bud to its full bloom and to its final petal. That is, the rose is always beautiful, always perfect, and it's no, it's never thought of how we think of ourselves as unworthy or unloved. So we can also think of a rose. We are constantly changing and constantly growing and constantly learning. So we'll be perfect as it is, and we don't need to shape ourselves from our past experiences. So if there is a holistic intervention, is that if there is a problem, so look inward with curiosity and not judgment. So every belief has its own origin, and understanding is the first step to the healing. Next slide, ma'am. So mental house cleaning. So now the past experiences what we have to look at a bit further, and then as we suppose we if we want to clean our room, so how we'll look at the all the things we have minutely. So we can find some old stuff or something which needs repairing, then we'll make a note of that. And if something is what not, if we find some old stuff like newspapers or any old magazines or anything like that is not serving us right now, so we'll discard all the things. So as same it is like with the mental house cleaning. So if we can think of any past hurt or past pain or past experiences which is not that much of in favor with us, so we can discard and we can release all this without any without not getting any anger. So it will like the past all this kind of hurt and pain, if we remove, and then we can shape our future with a new thought process. Ma'am, next one. So the limiting beliefs that are coming, that I'm not good enough. So where that actually came from? So this kind of beliefs is coming from a parent who repeatedly criticized or belittled a little child. The next kind of limiting belief can be a lack of self-love. So where it is coming from is originating from the it is coming from the belief that whoever trying to win parental approval and never feeling good enough. So early experiences as a child of rejection, silence, abandonment, or fear that is shaping our current worth. So these beliefs are learned, but it is not the truths. Okay, so we can unlearn all of this negative kind of thought patterns or beliefs what we have with compassion and self-awareness. Next one, ma'am. So now we can do this exercise, that take a large sheet of paper and write down all the things which your parents have said that is wrong with you. Okay, so whatever you might have heard from them about your body, about your mind and creative talents, and your worthiness of love and relationships, and about your belief about money, whatever you have heard from your parents, uh, allow yourself, just take a 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes, and without judging yourself, list down all of the negative things you have heard as a child, and then look at this list and you gently say, so okay, now that's where the belief is coming from. And if you want to dig further, if you want to further dig deep, then you can also take another sheet of paper and then list down all the things you have heard from your teachers or your friends or peers, or your from neighborhood adults, whoever has told you any negative things about you. You can list it all down, and then just, you can, with awareness, you can consciously, from your conscious mind, you can remove all these negative thoughts, and just absorbing and awareness, we can, if we can point out what is the negative patterns, then we can reshape it with the positive thoughts about ourselves. Ma'am, next one. So seeing yourself as a child. So just imagine you and I, we can we can take a 3-year-old kid and we can blame them and criticize them, and we can tell them that that they are not good enough. They're literally like whatever he is doing is like bullshit, and we can say all the negative things and words, and then we can even might raise hand on that little kid. Then what would happen? So then this little 3-year-old kid will be very fearful, or it will sit in a corner silently, sit in a corner of the room and cry silently. Either it will be very fearful or it will start crying. Okay, so then we can never really make out of the real potential of that child. On the other hand, if we imagine that we take that same 3-year-old kid and we'll tell him all the positive things, that okay, you are we love you as you are, and you are a very bright and a very good looking kid, and it's okay to make mistakes while you learn. We'll always love you and we'll always support you while we'll learning and doing mistakes. So then what will happen? Now the same kid will we can't never even imagine how that kid will grow out as an adult, and what and all he can achieve in his life. So in ourselves also, we all have this 3-year-old kid whom we constantly are judging, criticizing, and in our mental thought pattern, we are telling all the negative things. So, and then we complain that our lives are not working, and we have all the problems in your life. So just instead of doing all the negative self-talk, we can do all the positive talk, and then we can see all the problems are vanishing from our lives. Ma'am, next slide. So blaming your family and choosing our parents is the next one. So blame is something we all do in the past also we have done it, or at present also. If we are blaming someone else, then blaming is always keeping ourselves stuck in a particular situation. It will always blaming in always giving power to that other person. It is not blaming means we are not taking responsibility for our own actions or our own behavior. So our parents have acted, or maybe they have done something bad to us, which we are still grieving and blaming them. But they have done it according to their awareness, their kind of knowledge, and their kind of maybe they have also got that from their parents. I'm a victim of the victims, as sir always says. So then they have done it from their kind of experience, and we can't really, blame them and judge them. If we are doing that, we are keeping stuck. We are keeping stuck ourselves and in a same kind of patterns, and we are not really growing. So instead, we can do, what we can do is, we can, if we can ask them, sit with them and ask about their childhood up to years of their age have faced, and we can really make a note out of it, and then we can really understand why they act how they act to with us. And then we can think of they are not the ones to bring blame. And understanding your parents childhood will bring compassion, and then we'll not judge them, and we can forgive them. And until and unless we are forgiving them, we can't forgive ourselves. And until and unless we are freeing them from blaming, then we can't really free ourselves. So next slide, ma'am. And the author here says that we choose our parents. There's this belief that we come to this lifetime to learn particular lessons. So before birth only, we choose our own sex, our race, I mean our countries, our color, everything. And then we look for a particular set of parents who will exactly mirror the patterns we need to learn in this lifetime, and then we can heal ourselves. So their imperfections will teach us resilience, boundaries, and growth. So it's not that while growing up, we say that okay, our parents has done particular things to us, and that is the reason we are not achieving something. So instead of that, we can remember always that we have choose our own parents for our own spiritual growth. And listening to others is also like in our early childhood, we often listen to our elder siblings. They might have told us, okay, you are not good enough. Oh, you are a little kid. You don't know anything about this thing. So we really tend to believe our elder siblings, elder brothers or sisters, or our teachers might have said to us, okay, you are not good at singing. Or maybe to someone, might have told that, okay, you are not good at dancing. We tend to believe all this, and then we forget our real passion and this thing, and we'll think, okay, we are not good enough to do all this. But while growing up, if we have instead of listening to them, we can now also have all the power to change that. And if you're really good at something, you can tell yourself, okay, you're really good at this thing. So critical voices of them like instill guilt, shame, or unworthiness in ourselves. So these are only truth, but not perceptions. So what we can do is we can here to transcend these limitations, so we can reclaim our magnificence and then embody self-love. So recognizing all our negative patterns and negative thought process, we can release them and then step into healing. So this is all about chapter 3. So now we'll move to chapter 4. Ma'am, the next PDF.
Just give me a moment.
So now we'll look into chapter 4. That is it true? Ma'am, next slide. So, is it true itself? The question itself can have two answers, yes or no. So, whatever we believe, that might be true only if we believe it. And if we don't believe it, it is not true. So, the same kind of situation we can tell the glass is half full or half empty. It is really depending on our perception. So there are billions of thoughts we can choose to think. So we are not limited to think what we have been told by our parents or in early childhood or by our teachers or anybody else, like any kind of negative thought. So you're not bound to think what the way our parents or our past did. We can choose now new thoughts that will serve us. Next slide, ma'am. So now examine your thoughts. So whatever you are in your like current situation, maybe you have faced an immense financial disaster in your life. So just check whatever thought you are holding. If you think that okay, like I am very bad with finances, or I can't I can't hold money, so then that will happen in your currently you are facing that. Or if you face that you are facing some kind of relationship issues, or you are not able to find love in your life, so then think what kind of thought pattern you are having in your mind. So maybe from childhood you have grown up with that thought, okay, I am unworthy of love. So these are a few examples of our belief pattern creation. So if you face some financial issues, the predominantly thought is like belief is I am unworthy of money. So and then if you face difficulty in the relationships, it's like the belief is nobody loves me. If you face any problems with your work, so it's like the belief is like I'm not good enough. And if you're facing any kind of health issues or poor health, so the popular belief is that illness runs in my family. So instead of judging yourself, you can become curious. So where did this belief is coming from and how it is shaping my life now? So we have all the power to change our thoughts. And then if you think positive, you can create a positive future for yourself. So it's only a belief that you learned as a child. So many beliefs are programmed into us in our early life, so that these are not our own truths. Like some of the beliefs can be very helpful and protective when we even grow up as an adult. So the kind of belief that look both ways before crossing the street. So this kind of belief is like really helpful even as an adult. So there's no need to change this kind of beliefs. But like this kind of beliefs we have heard from our parents, that okay, don't trust strangers. So it may be protecting and it may be helpful as a child, not to trust any random person in our life. But when we grow up, this can be very this can put us as an adult in isolation and very loneliness, because we'll not end up like making new friends or making new relationships in our life. And some of the other limiting thoughts are like boys don't cry. So what that will create, men who will like hide their emotional feelings, or girls don't climb trees. This will create that women that they are fearful of doing any physical activities or stuff. So whatever the child environment is, there becomes their worldview. But as an adults, we can question all these beliefs, and we can unlearn and then relearn from this thought pattern, limited thought pattern, and we can create new thought pattern as we grow up. Next one. So if you believe it, it seems to be true. So we all say some of the typical thought process we all have, like that's the way just I am, and I was born to suffer, and life is always against me. So if we think of all this kind of limited thought patterns, then we'll experience that kind of life for ourselves. Instead of that, all these negative experiences, so healing perspective can be all these negative experiences often reflect negative belief system. Instead of that, if we want a joyous life, we can have just joyous thoughts. If we want a loving life, we can have loving thoughts. And if we want a prosperous life, we can have prosperous thoughts. Whatever we send out mentally or verbally will be returning us in light form. So you have to like really be aware of your present moment, and then choose to think like what will shape your future. So if you think negative thought patterns, you will create negative things in your life, and you will instead of that, we can have choose positive thoughts, and we'll create a beautiful, bright future for ourselves. So the next point is like the point of power is always in the present moment. So just think of yourself. Whenever you do certain work, we can just really observe what we are thinking. Okay, if you really catch yourself thinking of something, negative, then we can really stop at that point of time, and you can choose to think of new thoughts, and which may be really helpful for you in the future. So stop repeating the negative like thought patterns in your narratives as well. We can rephrase and release them as well. So the next practice what we can do is, for your clients, you all can suggest that imagine you are in front of a big buffet in a luxurious hotel. Okay, so whatever, instead of all the dishes, we can think of all the dishes as like positive thoughts or negative thoughts. All kind of thoughts are there. So in a big buffet, what we'll tend to do, we'll choose all the foods that will nourish your body, right? That will nourish your body, your mind, and soul. So if you're choosing like the foods that will like harm you, or that foods, after having that you will face any kind of problem, will you choose that again and again? No, after a certain time, once or twice, if you done also, you will get to know, okay, this food doesn't suit me, or that doesn't give me health. So you'll not choose that after that. So if you are in this buffet of negative thoughts, if you are choosing all these negative thoughts, so then what will do that to you? Like fear, anger, resentment, shame. Instead of that, if you choose like, peace, love, confidence, worthiness, so that thoughts will nourish your body and mind and soul. So you can do that. Next one, ma'am. So your mind creates your future. So thoughts, whatever currently you had in the past, whatever thoughts you faced in the past, that is only shaping your today's, like your health, your relationship, finance, and self-worth. And you have all the power to choose now. So at the current moment, if you are choosing all kind of positive thoughts, that will shape your future, and that will create the next day and the next month and the next year. And repeating the negative thoughts will only create ongoing problems and pain in your life. And just as you avoid the foods that harms your body, you can just avoid the thoughts also that will harm your spirit and soul. So when there is a problem, it is not a punishment, it is just information. So just author was saying here in this chapter that just imagine if your schools have taught our parents or their like our grandparents that along with their regular curriculum, they might have learned all these topics from their school, like how the mind works, how to handle finances, how to invest money for financial security, how to be a parent, how to create good relationships, and how to create a mental self-esteem and self-worth. Then we would have end up with a generation who is like, very loving and kind, and who know how to handle their finance, are aware to invest the money properly. And they would have they would be a lovely parent. And so just imagine if they would have not taught all these things, or they would have not got a chance to learn all these things in school. We can raise a generation, and we can raise our children giving all this from their early life, and we can create a full generation who will feel loved, worthy, capable, and joyful. So we can start to do all this good work in this from this time onwards. So this is it about chapter 4.
Yes, very nice, Sambodhi. Really love the way you have gone with the flow and did the presentation. And the PPT that you have made was so beautiful and so well crafted. Very nice. And I am seeing a lot of transformation in you also. So it's a good thing that you have taken this up and come for a good presentation. And yeah, of course, Louis Hay, always the more you delve into it, the more you learn. And every time you read something, you always tend to learn something. So you all, both of you, Srishti and you, both of you have given a very good overview of the first 4 chapters. And I hope the other chapters also, whoever are doing it, they, do it as well as you all have done. It's really nice. So yeah, anybody has any questions or anything regarding this? because there are a lot of concepts, a lot of thoughts. Everything was coming back to me as to all about belief systems, all about what we say to ourselves. How about, that constantly when we keep saying negative things, or, uh, um, our clients who come to us who always talk negative, it's so imperative for us to understand that from where the, as Sir says, where is the story coming from? What is the actual story, but not the story which they're telling us, but what is behind the scene, right? So it's it was overall a good presentation. I'm waiting for students, or I mean the coaches, to put their views or anything they want to say, or key takeaways. Please come forward.
Yes, hi, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah, Srishti and Sambodhi, you both are like, have raised the bar so high for the next coming people to present. Oh my God. But it was really beautiful listening to you both. I know, very composed, and I can really feel that you have, really could understand what she was trying to convey, and the same could be reflected here. And one thing I would like to say that from Srishti's presentation, like, we all have this belief, right? That painting doesn't get us more money. Very recently, I have read one article, one news kind of a thing. There is a boy who is just 13-year-old or something. He is making paintings which are worth of 1 lakh each. And yeah, his father is a banker. Now his father had to leave the job just to manage his, you know, to sell his paintings and everything. He's managing everything now, taking care of the kid, and his art is being sold. And what are the money that is coming? He's managing that. Imagine when when we were kids, like painting was like useless job, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
here is an example, and this guy stays very remote in Ooty, in a very remote place. But still, across the world, his paintings are going now. So yeah, that is one thing I would like to say. But really amazing the way you guys have come up with. Seriously, superb. Yeah.
Thank you, Samya.
Yeah,
Anyone
ma'am. This
else?
is Vijay.
Yeah. Vijay, yeah, tell us.
Yeah, yeah. So both the presentations really good. After we are not touching the book after many days, I think so. So now it's restarting and refreshing everything. Thank you both of you. And then again, as
Thank you.
Soumya ma'am said, it's other we are behind, so we have to do lot of work for the presentation.
No. Just change your thought. You are not
That's
behind.
right. That's right.
Whatever you
We
think
have
is
to work
okay.
because I am the 13th and 14th chapter. I have to work.
So you also always tell, okay, I'm the best.
Yeah, but some of the things we have to work and plan it, no, accordingly.
Yeah.
Teaching is very special. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. See, whatever Sambodhi just presented, that is what she has just told Vijay, that you don't have to think about
Yes.
how it is going to look. It is about how you feel that yes, it is good, and it's going to be excellent.
But,
So
yeah, they both are just they are involved in the chapters and then they enjoyed it. That's feel I got.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, so both of them they are enjoyed the chapter. Thank you both
And
of you.
it's come across as a very refreshing review. Um,
Yeah,
it had been done long time back, and I'm glad that we took this up with the new coaches, and helping us understand from a newer perspective. So it's really a refreshing change, and a book that has always been by our side, always to help us transform and help our clients transform. Anything else? Anyone else?
and then this is the first book we all bought it, no, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, while joining the HLTV, this is the first book everyone have in their hands.
Yes, yes, yes. So for
They're
me,
always told.
now this book helps me a lot in understanding the emotional patterns of so many newer problems that clients come up with. So the moment they have some new or something which we have not heard about, apart from the major lifestyle disorders and all, some smaller diseases that are there. So she has covered so many disease patterns and the emotional, pattern behind it. That is something which is, which
Yeah.
helps us at least, break through that thought, and then we are able to ask them those relevant questions. So this is something that is really put up very nicely. Yeah.
I also always refer to if someone is complaining about some problem, no, this chapter, I mean, chapter 15, where the complete list
Yes.
is given. I always refer to that chapter and like what emotional causes causing the physical
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. And for me, I also, take pictures of the first, the paragraphs of affirmations that she has
Yeah,
given before
yeah.
each chapter.
I mean,
I give it to people.
at the end, ma'am, like the
Ah,
chapter's end, no, there's a affirmation given.
yeah. So those affirmations, I always, give them for motivation. So a lot of people initially when they come, they're in a lot of pain and all.
Yeah.
Just they help read it with them and help them read through it. It calms them down in the initial phase itself.
Yeah, reading it quite a few times for ourselves also like help us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, coaches, or should we wind up?
Yeah, ma'am.
Are we done? Okay. Thank you, Shrishti, and thank you, Sambodhi, for bringing up the most important book in the most refreshing way. It was a very insightful and a very engaging session. And I'm sure a lot of people who have attended today have got some new things to learn from all this book review. And now I think next week is it chapters, next two chapters. Okay.
5, 6,
It
7,
will,
and 8,
yeah,
maybe.
7
It
and
is
8.
in a group, ma'am. Like I
Okay.
think Neema ma'am will
Okay.
give
So yeah,
them.
so it's going to be next Tuesday, right?
Yeah, next
Yeah,
Tuesday.
next Tuesday. Stay tuned for the
Probably like next 4 chapters.
Okay. So yeah, stay tuned then for next Tuesday for the next 4 chapters. Hoping to see you all with good presentations and a lot of insights. Thank you so much, everyone. Good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Danya.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.